President William Ruto is the latest leader to come to the defense of the United States Ambassador Meg Whitman, rebuffing former Prime Minister Raila Odinga for lack of decorum when he publicly launched a scathing attack over her remarks about the contested 2022 general elections, which he termed as the most credible and fairest elections witnessed in Kenya. This might have rebutted Azimio Party leader Raila Odinga in a bad taste, who in a quick rejoinder noted of the United States envoy against what he termed as interference in Kenya political affairs, warning that Kenya was not a colony of the US. The head of state instead has dismissed Raila, stating that the USA was a friend of Kenya and a development, unlike the Azimio leader, whom he said is known for sabotaging the government through endless anti-government protests. Tracy Ochieng with the details.
I arrived in Kenya days before the August 22 general elections. What I witnessed was nothing short of remarkable. Kenya held what many analysts and commentators say was the freest, fairest, and most credible election in Kenyan history.
Temperatures generated from Azimio leader Raila Odinga's remarks towards US Ambassador to Kenya Meg Whitman saw President Ruto coming out to condemn the opposition leader, throwing jibes at him over his sentiments.
I was just imagining between the people who are orchestrating destruction of property and sabotaging our economy, and those who are working with us to create investment opportunities and investment capital for the people of Kenya. Between those two, I was wondering who is actually rogue. I think it's for the people of Kenya to judge.
Speaking at the 8th Devolution Conference on Thursday, the former Prime Minister issued scathing remarks to the ambassador, who referred to Kenya's elections as the fairest and freest.
Tell the rogue ambassador, Kenya is not United States. Kenya is not a colony of the United States. Keep your mouth shut when you're here. Otherwise, you will call for your recall back to your country.
It is, however, not the first time the opposition leader is telling off the US ambassador. Speaking during the burial of the first elected woman MP and Mayor Mama Grace Onyango in Game on March 31st, 2023, the Azimio chief issued similar sentiments, questioning the dismissal of issues of police brutality by the ambassador.
We are so surprised to see this diplomat completely turning a blind eye to violation of fundamental human rights in Kenya in the name of development. And most of them having the audacity to misrepresent facts in our country. Like the American ambassador yesterday addressing American businessmen, saying that Kenya last year in August did the most transparent and democratic elections in the history of Kenya. I told her I did not know which country she was talking about. I didn't know which Kenya she was talking about.
In July, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka confirmed his meeting with the US ambassador, UK Sharjah, and UN representative after calling the international community on their grave silence on police killings during the anti-government protests.
Ambassador Meg Whitman, the British Sharjah, and the Danish ambassador, as well as the representative of the United Nations community in Nairobi, in fact at UN offices, the very high-ranking, came over to my residence, and we agreed we will not at this stage address the media. Of course, they're all very concerned, not just them as ambassadors, but the international community.
From calling for interventions by the international community to now ordering them to back off. Was this a blanket attack?
Tell the rogue ambassador, Kenya is not United States. Kenya is not a colony of the United States. Keep your mouth shut when you're here. Otherwise, you will call for your recall back to your country. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
We spoke to a political analyst to shed light on the role of ambassadors and the process of recalling one.
An ambassador, more like an embassy, is a representation of a government. to another government. But an ambassador has the specificality of being appointed by one president to another president. So he is the representative of the head of state in their country to the host country. So that's why they are the only people referred to as excellencies also, because they represent the person, the head of the state. Ambassador is an individual appointed by the head of state to another head of state. The question is, who is the head of state? In order to revoke someone, you have to be the person they were appointed to. So from my knowledge, the only person or institution that can revoke an ambassador is the head of state to whom they were appointed to, or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
This recent outburst leaves a lot of questions unanswered.
Raila is quite known for calling on international community, on international actors to come and take part in the Kenyan political life, at least as observers, as advisors. So today he's saying that she should not interfere or give her mind on the matter is kind of opposite of what he has always said. Where does he stand? Should they give an opinion?
Could there be more than meets the eye?
Freest, fairest, and most credible election in Kenyan history.
Tracy Ochieng reporting for GBS News.